Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. This is an astonishing number that I'm going to tell you now, but this current government is on target to spend the most amount of money by any government since the Second World War. And we obviously spent a lot of money then because, we were fighting a war and wars ain't cheap. It is an astonishing number. This government, by the end of this parliament in 2029, will have spent £6.43 trillion. Now, obviously, that's a bigger number than it was in 1943, or 1944, rather, in the end of the war. But that's only because inflation, as percentage, in terms of normalcy, it's 45% of GDP. In fact, Boris Johnson spent slightly more, 45.4, but that isn't really a comparable number because he did it, and there was the sort of 2 years, if you will, of the pandemic to be taken into consideration. And so, although the GDP percentage was slightly higher, the amount of money was considerably left because the economy shrank quite significantly at that time as output sort of collapsed. So it's a non-comparable number. But in terms of genuine normalcy, highest expenditure for for 80 years. And what are we getting for it? Labour austerity, cuts, misery, unemployment, the destruction of everything. Anyone with wealth is leaving. Who blames them? If you've got money, get it out, for heaven's sake. And it's not going to end well, is it? We're probably going to be going back to the IMF. After all, Dennis Healey did in the mid-70s. We weren't spending anything like, 45% of GDP then. It's an absolute... It's an absolutely horrifying number. It's going to be the equivalent of £45,000 per household public spending per year. £45,000 per household per year. Now, the Taxpayers Alliance have been looking at the numbers. I mean, they've come back sort of like that, slapping their head. And they're saying that the debt clock is about to go whirring like crazy because we're now going to be paying as much in interest as this country earns. In fact, that's basically what's going to happen. And as it goes on, our debt to earnings ratio will exceed 100%. That means even if we spent every penny this country has on just paying off the interest on the loans, we'll be even poorer at the end of it because we can't even pay the interest. This is 8 months of a Labour government. How bad is this going to be at the end? Now, whatever's going to happen here on Wednesday with the emergency budget, not that they're calling it an emergency budget, it makes little to no difference. You can save the £22 billion black hole that she keeps going on about, which doesn't exist and never has. But that's nothing. That's a few weeks' interest. This is how bad we are in this country now. They won't let people know the truth. They daren't let people know the truth. And they have basically, in 8 months of coming to power, mortgaged not just this country now, but your children, your children's children, their children, their children, their children, their children, their children. And this country is going to sink into a sea of debt, and it will be a third world country within 20 years. It will be bought up. Somebody will buy it because it'll be worthless. It's unbelievably bad, isn't it? Unbelievably bad. You can't see a future when everything you earn is still not enough to pay the interest on your debts. Your debts can never shrink, they can only grow. What's the solution? Well, there's two. One, we have regime change. Or two, everybody packs up, leaves the country, and goes somewhere else. Why not? The millionaires and billionaires have. Everyone with maybe 100,000 will be going next. Eventually, there'll be nothing. And it'll be a whole country of zombies wandering around. Unbelievable, isn't it? If this is as bad as it is in 8 months, how bad is it going to be in 4 years? Scarcely bears thinking about. Let me know what you think. Thanks a lot. Bye.